barrier, trip every trap. Protection, my penance to you. Time's trembling threads are just waiting to snap. Tight ropes to carry us through. I went from white to black to gray. Over the course I lost my way. Take me back in time. Prelude to the past.
Right.
To the end we climb. The first follows the last. How long do we hold now? So far from the end. The road to the future now. It breaks and it bends. So take me back in time. Prelude to the past. To the end we climb. The first follows the last. Take me back in time.
Howdy doody.
To the past. To the end we climb. The first follows the last.
How you doing, everyone? Welcome. Bit of a different one this, if we're honest. We are indeed going to try a bit of IRL. I'm going to try and fix a certain thing. And one of those things is my new mouse. Now, you have to excuse this shitty little mouse. I just got that plugged into the PC. For those of you who don't know, we've got a bit of an issue with our current mouse, which is this here. Which is the Swiftpoint Z. I've had it a few years, about 3 years now. Probably you might be able to see it's a bit glossy on the finger pad there, up here. And the reason for that is that the so that you can hear me a little bit better. Point that bit there to there. Better. Yeah, what's happened over the past few days, for some reason, the middle mouse is not clicking. It's still rotating, but even looking at the, you can see it, it's not central on its axis either. It seems to be slightly off. So I'm going to have a look at that as well. I've been in touch with Swiftpoint. There are a great bunch of people down there in New Zealand or Australia. You see the shit comes out of this. Unbelievable. We're suspecting that there's dust underneath the contacts. So we're going to see whether this is indeed the case. So I've got some instructions that I've got on my email. And it does mean doing a little bit of surgery. It does mean removing certain things. So we are going to be doing a bit of open heart surgery on it. Fingers crossed you guys will let's see. That might be a bit better. You're looking straight down on where I'm working. We've got the trusty iFixIt kit. Yeah, we got one of those a little while ago. Great little bit of kit. You can get into the box, that is. It is a magnetic. But you can see we've got a few little tools in there for us to use with all the different fittings. Good little kit actually. I've been after one for a while, and I got one for my birthday. So we need to find a very small Phillips to do a job. Oh, let's have a look. See. That's about right. So we're gonna just do this. You can see me on the cam there as well anyway. I've got the other camera on in. Keep forgetting I've got the other camera in. I do apologise, the light isn't brilliant at the moment. Got the sun glaring in. So pretty much we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One hiding in there. And then there's 2 under here which we need to remove. 2 screws underneath there which we need to remove. Like I said, this is all from the guys at Swiftpoint. They have realised it can be a bit of an issue. So just trying to see if I can improve the light at all. Like that,
came a broken lift with a fallen bride, and now I walk beside psychotic guides to listen to their whines and maniacal cries. Worship the dollar and cent, white collar descent. You holler and bend over the most tiny moderate dent. In your mountains of gold, accounts that you hold, you wind up a node. Young blood, man, that fountain is cold. And I used to swear upon wisdom. You got brains to spare, you gotta give some. I kick back and flare my ignition. It's time to ride. When I need to feel alive, I just get in my car and drive. When life starts to break my stride, I just get in my car and
drive. Be a little bit better. So, yeah. It's just because the light isn't too brilliant in here. But hopefully we shall be able to get this. So I'm trying to keep this. This is the first time I've ever done it this way, to be fair. So what I need to do as well is as I remove screws, not lose the bloody things. It's quite handy. iFixIt box there we can use. So we're going to take that off, If you can't hear me, by the way, just let me know. I'll adjust the microphone. Because normally it's right in front of my face, but it's not. It's slightly off, you can see on the cam. Get that over there. Well, there's a pre-CB under here that we're going to have to remove. It is quite a complex little thing to remove, actually. I was hoping it'd be less complex, but sadly it's going to be interesting. That one there. How you doing, Stopbot? So we've got some tunes playing anyway. We've got a bit of Miracle of Sound. I guess the point where it's getting a bit warm, yeah? Right, there's that one there. So this is the 5 from the main body. The rest of them we'll have to obviously get from underneath this sticker. Now I'm not entirely sure how this sticker comes off. I don't know if it's just a peel or there's a thing for it to pick off. I'm not entirely sure. We do need to peel this off somehow. Unfortunately, ain't gonna be the best one. Right, there's one. So they're both at the outer edges by the looks of it. Stop, well, thank you very much for the subscription, my friend. Oh yeah. One second. Thanks, dude. Much appreciated. 5 months indeed. 5 months, my friend. I don't have my elements set up, so I can't actually give you the the full round of applause or anything. Unfortunately. But have a round of applause there you have. So, I'm trying to still peel this bit off here. You can see there's a sticker here that need to peel it back out of the way so I can get to the actual screw. Right, so we've got to the screws at each side. You can see now. Screw that side and screw that side. So let's get the iFixIt into there. That's that one into there as well. Oops. tips on these iFixIt kits are slightly magnetic, which is very handy. Oh, where are you? There we are. Well, to be honest with you, Stockbot, I'm just following a guide. I've been sent the guide by the manufacturer, Swiftpoint, because they've had various people have this issue. So I'm just giving it a whirl because it's annoying me that I can't middle mouse click. It really is. You don't notice it. Right. So this is once the 7 screws have been removed, the top half of the top half and the bottom half of the case can be separated. And whenever you need to be careful when doing this with a small circuit board, so there's so much sticks to the bottom half of the cable. Also, there's thin ribbon cable. So we need to be careful. This side is behind here. Behind these is a little. Right, there's that circuit board, as you can see, that just fell out. Thing. Right, there, like so. So there we go, that is the inside of the Swift. Now our problem is here with this little thing. Just scroll my email down a little bit just to see how this would work out. So we've got the ribbon cable in there, which is said about. This is the thumb one, which we know about as well. So as you can see, there's a little bit of stuff involved in a mouse inside. Let me just zoom in. You guys can probably see that better. Just tip that back up a little bit. Right, drag this. There we go. That's a bit better. So if we zoom in, you can see more of that and less of me. Get that out of the way. There we go. Aha, it's a better view, isn't it? So we've got a zoomy hands. So there we are. That is the inside of the Z mouse. Now, I'm just going to scroll through my email. Right, so that can just be attached out of the way, which is fine. So I actually recommend not disconnecting that. So detaching the PCB. The middle mouse is positioned beneath the axle of the scroll wheel. There. So to access it, the scroll wheel needs to be removed and also make the rest of the process easier if you detach the whole top PCB. So basically we're going to be removing all this. Everything's coming out. So before removing, please take note of how it is screwed in loosely and is able to wiggle slightly. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Oh, right, yeah. So that is actually, that literally is wiggly, isn't it? But yeah, well, the problem is when we push down on there, we're not getting any. There's actually some dirt in that already. Right, blue. Do need top.
Surf the golden waves on silken highways.
That's a little bit of dirt. I don't think the camera can pick up on it because there's some dirt on the end of my screwdriver there. Amazing the crap that you can get in these things. Right, so the reason that wiggles actually is because underneath these buttons, which is obviously where your left and right mouse buttons sit on here, there are force sensors, and it can be resistant, not resistant. It is T-Bank, how you doing? It's Panda Death by Daylight. We are actually trying to fix the Z mouse. We've got an issue with the mouse, so hence why I'm having to use this piece of shit actually connected to my. This is the worst mouse ever known to man. I usually have it connected to my little micro server. It is the most boring, basic red mini optical mouse, and I have it connected to my little micro server. So yeah, we've got the mouse open. Ingenious, I know. So, So we know that this is ever so slightly put in there, because you can see even there and there, so we don't need to tighten those down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take a picture of the layout of the mouse. Now, it's a bit of inception, isn't it? Seeing picture within a picture. So let's just get the picture of that. I always like to keep visual references. Right, to do the... Okay, so let's go on to that. Right, there's black light.
Into the beauty emerging at last, into the wild, into the fray, up and away.
This one sort of easier. Right, so
Sun and the rain and the thunder.
right, that is very difficult.
Rise for the world is my shrine. So many places I've
See, this is
wandered.
PCB here.
So many
out,
I've yet
well,
to
doesn't help.
find. Strong
This is the side button,
hearts to the
PCB.
wings, firm
In
blades
there
and
like so, but obviously it's under a little bit of tension.
small parts I've seen in the dreams. Tall towers ascending.
I'll be surprised if many people actually turn up for this. It'd be quite funny if they do. How you doing, Silver? How are you, my friend? Yeah, we're following some instructions and destroying some... Well, hopefully not fucking destroying something. I'll be a bit gutted. Right, so these black tabs are there. Wow. You know what really is annoying is this one. Finding this one in the way. So what I'm going to do... Can. Get rid of that. So there is the inside of the top of the mouse. Oh, relatively clean. But obviously, what it'll actually mean is it can... Oh, look at that. Oh, shit. It's falling out of there. I'm just getting rid of some of the crap in there. What I'm going to do is, while I can, I'm going to give it a clean. Because you wouldn't believe all that skin and shit and dead stuff that's in there. So if you ever get a chance to take your mouse apart, give it a clean. So we'll give that a clean as well. Overclocking my mouse, yeah. If only it was so simple. No, I'm actually trying to dismantle it. So we need to pull these two tabs back. There's a tab there and a tab there, which is going to detach the top PCB from the bottom PCB. But you just got to be very careful. You can see, I don't want to pull it totally out. There we go. So that's kind of back in. So that's got that into there. Right. Ooh. Link for Hunter, how are you doing? Yeah, mouse surgery is ongoing. Yeah, so we've got that with 2 sections. Yeah. BD, T-Bank rather, I thank you for calling me young, but I'm 46 years old. Well, I'll take that. I'll take that as a compliment. Right. Let's see. We might need a slightly smaller head for this one. Right. So the screws we need to remove are that one there. Then there's that one, and that one as well. So that is going to remove. Well, Silver Fox, to be fair to Swiftpoint, I did have a problem with my original mouse. Harkoon has got the same mouse as these. Cleaning the ball, yeah, Link for Hunter. Me and Hark have got the same mouse. We kickstarted this way back in 2007, I think it was. 2016, 2007. 17 rather. And I had a problem with mine straight away. It was near enough dead on arrival, which was a bit of a pain. So I had to get a new one sent, and they sent me one free of charge and everything. And this is the first time I've had an issue with it. And I just contacted them last night because I believe they're in Oz or New Zealand. I can't remember exactly where. And they said, here's some instructions, because they've had this issue before where basically the middle mouse stops clicking. It's all to do with the contacts and everything underneath. So we're just going to get our trusty iFixIt tray back again. And we're going to unscrew this if we can. Like I said, these are not screwed down tight. Right, so there we go. I like the way they segment it as well because it is very handy. And that one's not too tight. Yeah, so literally we don't want them too tight. If you do put them back together too tight, it won't allow the board to flex. So there we go. There's that one over that side. I hope you guys can actually hear me all right. I do apologise if for any reason you can't. I'm having to use a slightly different setup to get the camera to point down there, and I'm using my other webcam that's there. I don't normally use this webcam. It's just my old one. But I'm hoping the microphone is still picking me up all right. Right, so that's those three across the bottom, and then there's another three along the top. So... Right, so it's that one, and that one there. Sorry if my hands are actually in the way, you can't see much. I'm only undoing some screws. All the songs you're hearing are by Miracle of Sound. If you've never checked him out, please do. Gavin Dunn is an absolute brilliant artist from Ireland, and he writes a lot of songs about pop culture, basically. A lot about games and a lot about films and TV. And some of his stuff is phenomenally written. The other thing is as well, I mean, I bought his tracks. I have actually bought them. I'm not just ripping them off. He actually gives them away DMCA free, so you're not going to get into hassle for streaming them. Right, so there we have the 6 screws that we need to... I've been looking on iFixIt Toolkit on Essential one, they didn't use the same handle. Yeah, I mean, this is mine. Here's mine. I'll just bring that into shot for you. There we go. So you get the rotatable handle. There is the long extension as well, if for any reason you should require a bit of an extension. There you go, so you can extend it, and that obviously will rotate that end. So, but I just got this version because it's as much as I'm going to need. I'm not into fixing mass amounts of electronics or anything like that, but it is a very nice feeling kit, and I've been after one for a while, and I was lucky to get one for my birthday back in October. This is take care, Hark. See you soon, dude. This is one that I've been after for a while, but I was looking to get one for my birthday. Excuse me. Right, now. Here we are again. Further over this way. iFixIt kit, yeah. It literally, I can't really flip it over because that's the lid. But if you go to iFixIt, iFixIt.com, I think it is. You can go there. I think I got mine off Amazon. Oh yeah, also UK, yeah. Right, so this is the top PCB separated now. Let's bring in the Wonder Mouse. There we go. That's the mouse I'm currently having to use. Just connect it to my PC just so I can scroll. Okay, with the screws removed, 2 sections of the PCB can be lifted out of the mouse along with the scroll wheel, which can be slid out of the encoder and put to the side. So that can now... Can that be lifted? Right, okay. Seemingly it can. This is a bit delicate. You know what you're having to fight with is this cable. It's a shame it's not detachable. Alright, before I do that, just going to do what I did again. Just going to take a photo. I think it's always a good idea to take photos of things before. Actually, I did it the other way around, didn't I? If I do them all the same way around, it'd be beneficial. So I'm just going to take a picture of a picture. So you're getting a bit of inception going on here, aren't you? There we go. So we need to lift this L out by the look of it without destroying everything. Right, there is cogwheel, which we've removed now. And as you can see, we are now into the meat and potatoes of said mouse. You will constantly find crap in here, I've noticed already. And as you can see, just on the end of my finger, that is dirt and dust that's built up around the actual wheel itself. So it's definitely a good chance while you're in here. Wow, can't believe how much crap is actually in that. To clean out some of this. It's just hair that gets wrapped around the wheel. It's like anything. A bit like a vacuum cleaner, you know, where you have the same problem. Now it gets all crap underneath your fingernails as well. Ah! Yeah, there'll be a bit of grease in there as well. What I'm just going to do is just for that one. So I knew that was the one I was using. Let's get the pointy one. R.I.P. Mr. Bisc. Yeah. 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 This is going to be quite fascinating, I think, to get all this crap out of here. Yeah. Oh. See that? That's just come out from a rat around the mouse wheel. So that should, and ironically, is that crap there as well? There. So sometimes I have to look up to get a bit closer to see what's actually caught. So I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to clean my desktop after this as well. Right. That's not bad. It's a lot cleaner than it was, which is always handy. So I'll just put that aside. I will just get rid of this gunk off the desk. So there we go. I mean, this is totally different to what we normally do. I mean, normally you see me playing games and stuff. If it's not World of Warcraft, you'll find me normally in Lotro or at the moment Cyberpunk. Right. So that there is PCB, which is I don't know well the camera's picking that up. I think that be also focused on my hand rather than PCB. So that is basically everything that controls your mouse on the Z. There's your two buttons here, left and right. And these actually have on the Z mouse, they have what are called deep click. So they're kind of pressure resistant or pressure noticeable. So as you push down, you can push harder. I mean, this is quite good technology 3 years ago when it was being developed, so it was quite dramatic. So we're just keeping everything stored in our trusty iFixIt tray. You know, you can keep things there. Just avoid these, okay, when you got circuits, because this is magnetic. These little 4 points on the tray. You don't want to be zapping that. Right, I think we're getting into the interesting bit now. Right. Actually, we don't actually need this now. We can get rid of this, most of this mouse bit. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to probably clean that crap out in there. Oh my dear. I don't think you can see, but in here This is where the mouse wheel sits. All the gunk that's in there. There we go. Look at that. We're getting a bit of dinner and all sorts. There we go. No, I feel like in a way, I feel like a vet. I just feel totally like a vet, you know, like a veterinary surgeon. Like, oh, look what we found. Oh, look. So there we go. It might not be your hair. It might be somebody else's hair, but there's definitely hair and crap in there. Be so careful because of that PCB here. That when I tap that down, I don't break it. Definitely don't want to break the ribbon cable. Right, so as you can see, a bit of crap came out of that little slot there. Let's get rid of that as well. There we go. Right, there we go. So that's it. So we actually do need, and this is where it's going to get rather particular. This here, I believe, gets actuated when it's in the that's in there like that, and it's on here. When you press, it's this button here. You can just about see that one there is the one that actually gets activated by the mouse. And I think over time it just stops working. Just there's contacts under there. Still some stuff on this wheel that I'm not happy about that cleaning. I mean, you can see me on this camera as well as under here. It's like when I'm under here, it's just sometimes I need to look very, very close. So you probably see me on the other camera there. All right. Okie dokie. Right, so let's have a look then. Opening the middle switch. I didn't realise it's fucking small, if I'm honest. I thought it'd actually be in here. I actually did think it would be in this slot here. This is going to have to get cleaned out because that's greasy junk and crap in there. It is greasy. But then again, it's just full of shit as well from me. Wow. Right, so I'm going to try and open up this thing. I mean, this is how fucking small this is. I don't know if you can actually see. I don't think the camera will focus on it. On here, where the switch is, which is there. Let me just bring up the screen and see what you guys can see. Can't get the camera to focus on it. But here, if I get it in the right light, the little button there, that is the button, but the side of it, there's 4 tiny little pads. And I mean tiny little pads. If I zoom, focus on that closer zoom. I'm having to do some manual focus here. There we go. If it stays like that, it'll be alright. There, see, that's the button. Just next to it, and I don't know if you can make them out with a tiny little post. These are what we need to get off. So you'll see that the 4 posts that stick out of the lid of the switch on its corners. You need to shear, these need to be sheared down with a craft knife so the off of the lid. So this will allow us to lift the lid of the switch while keeping it close to the lid back on. Right, so you need to shear them. Fucking hell. Wow. Okay, that's a challenge. Cool. So that's going gonna be trying not to take my fingers off job, isn't it? I'm trying to think, is there a mucky mark on my desk there? There is. Even the camera's picking up the mucky marks on the desk. I tell you, you'd think my desk was filthy, but it's not that bad. Okay. Cameras. Right. So we need to somehow get into that. Right. I have a scalpel somewhere. I'll be back in a minute.
Why won't they get rid of second chance? When I shoot some dude, he should not drop down and break dance. Why won't they get rid of second chance? You'll get fucking teabagged if I see you in that stance. Block shot, automatic drop shot. What kind of shooter rewards you cause you got shot? Block shot, automatic drop shot. What kind of shooter rewards you cause you got shot? We all got so crazy when Black Ops hit the shelves. We went and got our hopes up, got way ahead of ourselves. Now every goddamn corner someone's crawling on that crack, leaving skid marks on the map's Treyarch. I want my money back. Why won't they get rid of second chance? When I shoot some dude, he should not drop down and break dance. Why won't they get rid of second chance? You'll get fucking teabagged if I see you in that stance.
That's the proper scalpel. So I need to go on the hunt. So keep yourself entertained. Have a look at that for a second. I'll see if I can find something.
Automatic drop shot. What kind of shooter rewards you cause you got shot?
Wow, dude, seriously? Weren't they supposed to patch this? Like, your boy just got block shot again. Look at this shit. I'm dead. He didn't even pull his gun out. Weren't they supposed to patch this garbage?
So why won't they get rid of second chance? When I shoot some dude, he should not drop down and break dance. Why won't they get rid of second chance? You'll get fucking teabagged if I see you in that stance. Leaving skid marks on the maps. But I want my money back. Leaving skid marks on the maps. But I want my money back. Long roads through the raging days. Walk the world up on my weary way. Bestowed with the blade and phrase. Fought too long.
Can't find this bloody craft. I do have one. It is very handy. Does allow me to
This time through everything carried on. With strength in my stride, I followed the path so long. I need a place where I belong at last. At the end of the path, I rest my weary feet. At the end of the path, in quiet comfort we meet. One blow with the golden shine. quiet comfort we'll need. Threads of blood wire, I did one last time. I did one last time. These lines upon my brow, they beckon to me now. I follow the path so long. I've weathered this tide through everything carried on. With strength in my stride, I follow the
Need to
path
message her ladyship.
place where I belong at
Wrong one. Let me see if I can get hold of my better half.
the end of the path. And quiet comfort will need. We're a wolf at the end of war. Love's the loop apart the more. We're a wolf at the end of war. Love's the loop apart the more.
One plus time. Not where I'd hoped it'd be. Bugger springs to mind. Right. See, this is the problem. The kit doesn't come with anything to scrape. I don't want to use so much shit like ferret. That's just, as you can see, I'm trying to take off a tiny little thing with a pair of scissors that way. I just know I have a tiny scalpel, which obviously holding that there and then wrapping away. So that I know where the center of the screen is. Got a tiny little mark there. So I know if I put that there, you guys can actually see it, because when I look at stuff, I'm like, I can't see whether that is the right place. Yeah, I do need a tiny little scalpel scrape off that. And I do have one somewhere. Question, where is it? There. That's the internals of a mouse. Not your average mouse everywhere. The Swiftpoint Z mouse is what I'm currently rocking. But I'm having a slight issue with this button. That for some reason and somehow we're not getting presses on middle mouse clicks. And the only reason it's come to light is that I've been playing Cyberpunk 2077, and one of the things that you know, for some reason, rolling again. Get to there. Nope. Hit it with a hammer, yeah. Yeah, for some reason it's just not behaving. Retries now. That put that in cap, but my bot hasn't froze. Yeah. You just restart my bot. Right. Right, come on, bot. Restart. You know, I realise how shit mice are when you see things like this. Like this. I can't even get it into shot because the cable's that crap. Yeah. That's currently the mouse I'm having to use while I get that. So yeah, I might have to go get my Stanley knife. There we go. My box is just coming back online, hence why it says Streamlabs Extended started. Right, there we go. Okay. Right, let's shift that out of the way. Right, I'm hoping her ladyship will actually answer because she knows where that is and she normally has a break around nowish. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go find my Stanley knife and stuff. See if I can actually find anything. What I'll do is I'll just go to intermission, which is, well, it's where you can have a look at some cyberpunk stuff because I'm on the cyberpunk one. I'll be back in a mo. Don't go nowhere. We found one. There we go. How's about that then? I didn't actually think for any second I actually had a Stanley knife in the house. I thought I was going to have to go into the garage and find stuff. But this is where we take out the finger. So if I start bleeding, you know why. So these are, or this is a fresh blade out of a very old Stanley knife, so it's got crap on it. So without severing any other wires, like I said, in the certain light, there's some 4 little posts here. You can just about make it out on there. I'm going to manually focus this to try and get it into dots. So what's going to happen is we just need to shave these off ever so slightly so they just stick through all 4 without severing anything else. Which, I'm just trying to get it into the light. It's easier said than done. Because we need to be underneath there. So if you see any claret, red flirting around, that's because I've slashed myself with the Stanley blade. Actually, I want to just do that away from myself. Thing is, these posts I can imagine are very strong rubber. Right, that's one just pinged off. So that took that off. You can see it's on my finger there actually. So yeah, just gently trying to scrape that way. Thing is, that's why I like a craft knife, is that I can hold it, but the thing is I'm trying to cut away, but then obviously you're holding the blade technically as well. But yeah, I just don't want to squish anything, break anything, and all of a sudden it's not just your mouse wheel that's not working. A little bit just come off there, so we got rid of them too. These other ones are going to be the finicky one. Nail file, yeah, the thing is I don't want to, the thing is it's got to go back on, so this one's going to be the easiest one to do, I think. And these posts are just enough. You can see the bits over there. Right, this is the last one, which is actually that one there still looking a little bit like it might cause a problem. You don't want to take too much off, and you don't want to take too little off, because I can still feel that post there. You can see the blade is just kicking into that one. Everybody's a bit like watching, you know, when you watch skiers go down the hill. Most people that don't give a shit about skiing, they're waiting. They're just waiting for somebody to fall over. And it's like you guys are watching me, waiting for me to stab myself with this and go, ow! So there's that one there. This is going to be the problem one, because there's not enough room really to move the blade. I mean, ironically, after all this, it could be that it hasn't fixed it, because they have said that if this cleaning it out doesn't fix it, then it could be that the switch itself has actually gone, and that is a replacement thing you can buy, but not necessarily easy to actually replace. Let's just have a little look at that. I'm trying to see into some light actually myself, so I can see.
Breathe life into this hollowed vessel of ribbon.
Right, I'm just hoping that that's probably going to be about enough. Yeah. Because you do actually need them to go back on, so you don't want to have too much picking up. Just trying to check them with my nail. That one there still seems a little bit on the protruding side. Yeah, I'm just bothered about severing them wires or anything. Right, I'll leave that there. Just get rid of this crap. Yeah, the sun's fair glaring through there at the moment. It's making me feel like I fucking need a microwave oven. Right, get that right out of the way so that we don't kill ourselves, stab ourselves anymore. Okie dokie. Right, so we'll see if that's enough. need that again. So the next step, and it's very difficult probably for you guys to actually see, but on this button here, on this post here, I need to actually slide the craft knife in the gap. There's a tiny little lid, so the posts are holding the lid down. I need to get under there, but I cannot sever the post. If I sever the post, the lid's not going back on. So this is going to be an interesting one. Right, we've got that a little bit done. I don't know if you guys can do that. So here, just started to lift. Now we need to get the other side here. I mean, it is handy that it's popping there, but just like I say, I'm bothered that I pop. So you can probably see it starting to lift there. That's it there. So that needs to come off. It's this side, which is the problem, but the side that I don't think I cut enough. Right, that might come off now. That corner one, that just pinged off, and that is the button. So that's pinged off the cap. Now the thing is, I was lucky. The actual lid itself fired off as well. So that's the lid. I'm not going to put that in the tray because I'll never find it. That tiny little thing is the button cap that's underneath. Oops, I have a message. Okay. One second. Hello, you are live on the internet, by the way. Wait, yeah, they can hear me talking to you, but yeah. 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 Good luck, can't find it. No chips left on this shoulder. No pride and growing. Oh, like a plastic flap one. All right. All right. All right. Well, it's not too bad because I found a Stanley knife blade which I'm using. So, but yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, well I found the greeny blue cutting mat, but I can't find the actual knife. But it doesn't matter, it's okay, you know. I've got around what I need to do temporarily, but Alright. Cool. Okay. No, I haven't seen it, but no, we're generally started, so. Okay. Alright. Yep. Alright. See ya. Bye. Right. Well, there we go. That was just magic. Tell me she didn't exactly know where it was. Right. Let's just... And you go back down to here. There we go. Right. So, looking at the rest of the descriptions, once it's off, we need to actually dismantle this thing. So once the lid has been removed, there are 3 small parts inside a swoop. So we've got the black cap, the that and that. And then there is actually, you guys can see it there, a little plastic nib. But we need to kind of prod that out somehow. There we go. That wasn't too bad, was it? I think that sits on top of that when it's the right way up. Kind of thing. Oh, that's finicky. You can see why they get machines to do this shit, can't you? Because humans' dexterity is nowhere near enough. So that, anyway, that sits on that and that covers the whole thing. Anyway, I'm going to keep that out of the way so I don't lose the bloody thing. Just a reminder, because I've just seen Leo Balth. Tonight we are doing Dungeons and Dragons, 7 PM tonight on this channel. It is our 3rd session where we're diving into the world of D&D. Right, I'm just doing a little... Oops. That there, luckily, was stuck to the tip of my screwdriver. That there is a metal contact that, and that is what we're actually looking for. That was actually stuck to the end of the screwdriver because it's metallic, magnetic now. So I'm just having a look under here. In fact, I'm just going to see if that got any better. Probably not actually. There we go. So in there is a metal contact. That's what we kind of got to get clean. And I think, to my eye, actually, it looks better on the bloody camera. Using it as a form of... limit there. Yeah. So that contact in that little hole there. You don't need dexterity anyway, you're not wrong. Yeah, so it's actually not looking too bad, that contact in there. I'm just going to give it a little whirl around just to see if there's any dirt. Now they did say that sometimes this contact can go bad. But the thing is, the thing that worries me, doesn't look too bad actually. Currently. Which is a little bit of a worry.
There is but one that calls to me.
As they said that if it isn't that, silicon nib shaped like a wide rim hat, yeah, underneath that vent, the base is a slightly dull metal disc. Be careful with that, is this creates the click. So, up there, there's a tiniest little thing that we need to clean. So I'm just going to give it a tiny little clean with a lint-free cloth. Now I don't think that looks bad. Now that worries me a little because if there's nothing stopping that from contacting, why is it not contacting? So possibly the switch itself has gone. Lint-free cloth that's chucking lint off. Great. No, I just don't want to knacker that up. If we knacker that up, it doesn't flick. So clean the dome and the switch. Look very close to the dome for any signs of contaminants on the surface, usually convex underside. Even a minuscule amount of material can prevent the switch from working. If you notice anything, likely the problem. How you doing, Mr. Beaksy? Don't. Music's got a bit louder. Is it? I haven't touched it. It's still at 51%. I think what it is that song actually does get louder. Right, so just trying to have a look. I can't see anything. I mean, it's got wear on it, which obviously is expected, but with a stink of decay, stamped down under boots of the company. What you need to be careful of is that you don't stop it from being slightly convex. Just want to make sure I get every last bit off it if I can. Probably about as best as we're going to get, I think. I'm just going to point that back down on there. Okay. We're just going to move that out of the way temporarily. Now what we need to now look at is the inside of here. That bit there. See if there's any crap in there. Once the dome looks spotless, we only set the base of the switch. If any contents were only in the dome, they were likely ground into the contact surface itself. This is more durable than the dome, this is more visible. So if there are more visible contaminants, you can start by gently scraping them with your screwdriver. Once they've loosened, use the corner of the soft lint free to wipe down the remnants. Now, what makes me laugh is that on the instructions that they sent me, it actually is showing that, you know, it looks quite enlarged and everything. It's tiny. So we're just going to give it a little scraperoo into there just to see if there's any crap. I don't think there is because I can't actually see any in there. It didn't seem to show anything on the camera either when I zoomed in. I'd love to be able to do electronics. I've never done you know, circuitry or anything like that. I did used to have a little soldering iron, which I never managed to use because I lent it to a certain person who was in chat who never gave me the bloody thing back. That was disappeared years ago. He knows who I mean. Right, nothing's come out of there that I can tell. Right, so very arty shot, doesn't it? Like, you know, almost looks like the space station or something, you know, just the corona of the Earth. Dude, good like the on about. Right. So reassembling. When you're happy that the dome and the internal base of the switch is clean of any debris. I have no knowledge of this. Yeah, I didn't think you would do. Right, so that. Wow. Did I just get that in first time? Fucking hell. I did. As you managed to drop that in first time. I thought I'm going to take about 10 attempts at trying to lob this in there. And then lo and behold, it's in. We'll take that as a win for the time being. Right, first the dome needs to be inserted. Yeah. So like a hat, not a bowl. So we got that in the right way as far as we can tell. Then you next place the silicon nib on top of the switch, making sure it hasn't collected any dust or debris. Quite a possibility. But you've got to make sure that... Ooh, hello. The thing is, because it's clear as well, if you drop the bloody thing, you'll never find it. So I'm just going to give that a bit of a clean, just to ensure that there's no crap on it. If that is clicking, I can feel the click when I do that. And basically the click is the flex of that little... Yeah. That's the typical. I get something that's my... Oh, done it again. Alright. Now this is where the problem is. I've just dropped... Found it. And we'll stop looking. No. That's a finicky little fucker. So these should point to the left and to the right. Okay, so you've got to even orientate it in a certain way. Let's see whether that's aligned properly. So that, it's better using this camera. That there is the little nib. As you can see, so that's on now. Aligned properly. So now this is the fun bit, I think. Trying to get this back on. Now, ideally, what you want to do is get it back on the way it came off, I would have thought. So when you get it down... I think this is going to be a bit of a nightmare. You know, one part of a job that you always do, and you always think, yeah, that's fine. Things I don't want to flick off that bloody button. I can help it. Micro tweezers would be handy here. I don't actually have long nose pliers. Fucking hell. I know I'm a wizard, but you don't need dexterity, but fuck, I do need dexterity. Just trying to see which is the side that had possibly some gunk on it. whether that's stopping it from sitting down properly, but it all looks relatively clear.
Strangers, broken hands.
I feel like I'm going to be here all fucking day with this. Yeah, the thing is you can't trim the pegs back too much because if you do, they then won't latch. What's happening is as well, it keeps fucking sticking to my finger.
Guide, I will follow you. Stay
You get it?
by my side, see tomorrow through. Two roads merging in one line. What would you give of yourself to stay steadfast? Could you shed all of the ethics of your past? What would you give of yourself to be the best of us at last?
Kind of on. Just don't dare move it now. 6 hours later, yeah. As soon as you put any pressure on it, it flicks off. Fuck me, sideways.
What would you give of yourself to stay steadfast? Could you shed all of the ethics of your past? What would you give of yourself to be the best of us at last?
Just trying to actually create some kind of point. That's a C, so fucking tiny.
Two still hands of
See on there. You can actually see it better on the camera. They're so weirdly shaped. That one there you think looks like got a lift. And then you flick that bit off. And the cap. Right, what am I need to do? I'm going to leave that off while I get this fucking thing shaved down. Sorry if I'm whacking the microphone there with my plug-in. I'm just trying to see what the fuck I'm doing. It's a little bit easier to look on the I don't want to just take too much off. It's so difficult to see. was a bad idea. Because that's just flipped that out. Woo! Luckily, I saw it flip out. I might do. Might pile it down. Next step. There you go. Firing. Just mindful that I've got these tiny little bits that as soon as I fucking blow, they're gonna ping off in all sorts of directions. Last thing I want to do then is actually shift into the actual contact. Just now. It's really difficult to actually align correctly. I think what it is, I'm actually fighting autofocus a little as well. The one as you look at it in the bottom right, looks the right mess. There's the one opposite there.
Passage of the bone on the open sky, a wild new world around us. Stomp across the earth in the greatest strides. Thrill of the chase has bound us. The time has come to find your taste for danger. The time has come to find your place in nature. Bullet and the blade and the blunt collide. Titans' hides preserve us. Culling of the fierce so the rest survive. Heart is the guiding purpose. There is no beast too brutal for you here. The time has come to find your taste for danger. The time has come to find your place in nature. The bigger they are, the better the price. No
Get myself at this family next time. Because when you look at it horizontally, you can't tell the egg. It's actually one with a bear on it. Boo, boo, boo.
Torches of war under hatred sail, a whisper of doom on a weary breeze, scorching the shores in a blazing trail, cinder and fume foul the air we breathe, blood of fallen kings, blades of chaos ring, steel and silver sing for justice.
Bottom one of the bottom ones seems to be a bit flared. I'll have a go with that. I don't know if it is going to sit back down properly, but hey. You know, I got this right first time. The last time. Sure as hell ain't going to do it this time, is it? Not a fucking prayer. Right, that's in. Nib. Right, let's see if we can get this on. Ping. Off it goes. Wait, no, I'm going to be, later on today we are playing Dungeons and Dragons. So yeah, no loft show today. How are you doing, Jimmy? Hi. If there's any flexion on that. Maybe not. Now you can see that's how it should be. Very difficult to see, but it is people. I think there is. So that there, like that there is what we want. But yeah. Anything that can actually utilize. I don't think that's going to work. It's too narrow. Try the other end. Oh! Back on. Good idea. Well done.
Tonight, so beware of the clientele. Better grab your plasma cutter. Gonna slice two limbs like a blade through butter. Better grab your plasma cutter. You know why? We're making necromorph soup. Necromorph soup. It's a very
not advertising.
Just
you guys.
guts and goop.
That was
making
The first hotel that I ever stayed at in Birmingham when I went to the NEC for one of the gaming events, Haddon Hotel. I got the shittest room known to man, and I got the biggest key fob ever. Joking. The key fob itself was probably the size. Key fob was probably the size of this box, attached to a little Yale key. I wasn't going to lose that in a hurry. Right, so we are back on. Hopefully you guys can actually see that. Not now.
It's a very simple recipe. Just keep
There we go. So, see there, right there. That cap is back on. We are back in business. Good idea, good idea. I'll give you 10 out of 10 for that one. Right.
And it's all over the floor. Your appetite
Yes, this is an iFixIt kit.
I'm not so hungry anymore.
We're
making necromorph soup. Necromorph soup. It's a very simple recipe. Just giblets, guts, and goop for making necromorph soup.
It is an iFixIt kit.
Necromorph soup.
Very handy.
Murder's on the menu. Come and grab yourself a scoop.
Right.
We making necromorph soup.
Up all the way.
Necromorph soup. It's a
So, moving on.
just giblets,
Hey,
guts, and goop.
don't knock the mouse.
Necromorph soup.
Look at that bad boy.
Necromorph soup.
Shiny.
Murder's on the menu. Come and grab
Okay, so
yourself a
finally,
scoop.
testing. At this stage, the Switch itself is in a state where it can be tested, so it's a good time to do so before we seal the Switch and put everything back together. Yeah. In order to test it, sit the PCB back into the mouse with the scroll wheel. Hold up, don't screw it back in yet. Let the slide into the back of the PCB. Slide down. Right, so we do need to bring this back into play. And obviously,
Sunshine fading from your
what I did suggest everybody do, clean the shit out of the mouse while it's here. Because, I'm not joking, in here was disgusting.
So it's better not to care.
There's even a stray cat hair there.
And I can see your smile is
Whacking the microphone now.
one more
Oh, yeah.
leaf is drifting on the wind.
That is all the internals of Z mouse. This is a PCB that's separate on this side. It does pull out. That is for the side thumb switches.
So sorry that you never can replace it. The darkest road
Sunshine
ahead,
on a
you're
rainy
gonna
day.
have to face it, 'cause I can't always be
Internals of a Z mouse, anyway.
there. Now I'll do the best.
Yeah, I do. The only thing is that I'm a bit dubious about is there's so many tiny little contacts like that what I just had there. If I used anything like a pressurized on that, I do have contact cleaner somewhere as well. But yeah, it's just to be honest with you, what that is on your scroll wheel. This basically sits like there as such, and as you spin that round, all the crap that comes off your finger goes into that crevice there. So it's not too bad, Nettlebrew, on that one. I just want to get in there to kind of clean it a little bit if I can. Go on.
Innocence is wasted, and I'm so
What we'll do is
sorry
we'll
that
size
you
that.
never can
There's a little pokey McPokey thing to get in there with the cloth.
road ahead, you're gonna have to face
But
it.
yeah, it's not too bad in there because it's
Always be
just a hole. It's just a hole, man.
now, I'll do the best I can.
Right, so we need to put this back into the contact. Where's the, yeah, zoom So we want to get this back in the contacts, into there, and then that basically, all that does is that sits. That sounds really simple technology, but that sits on top of that and then clicks. That's all that it does. Right, we need to roughly put this into position again. That does need to go in. Otherwise, you ain't going to get that in at all. So you can see, literally, that just sits above that switch. The switch we've just cleaned. Yeah. So that's into there, but what we want is we've got to just put this back in. Oh, I need to make sure I get this the right way up. Blue side shown, so that needs to. Right, that's in. So that should be connected now. Like I say, we're not going to reconnect everything else. Right, it says in order to test it, the PCB with the back installed the duct screw back in yet. Next slide, the ribbon cable back into the socket at the rear of the PCB, blue side shown. Obviously, that's correct. Once it is in place, push the black latches on either side of the close. Oh yeah, close, yeah. On that, that's all. With the main parts assembly, we can test the button's response using false values on the LED. Now, I can now. Let yourself get a fucking drink. I can plug this back in somewhere. Don't worry if you've lost music, I just can't get the bloody USB back in. Right. Hopefully you can hear me. May have reset my actual. I think it's just had a bit of a hissy fit there. If you've lost the music, let me know. Let's just plonk that there. There we go. Right, hopefully you can still hear me. I don't think the music's actually playing for whatever reason. Stop that. Bring that back up. Hello. Uh-huh. Bit of a hissy fit there with everything. Yep. I've lost connectivity with my headset. How ironic. So let me just go into my audio settings. Yep, that's still there. We're all right on that. We're all right on that. Okay. For whatever reason, now I can't actually hear any music. Can you guys hear any music? Because I can't hear any music. There we go. We got music. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can find. You should hear it now. Right, this is the new version, by the way, of Cyberpunk 2077. Excellent. Yeah, it's just because I plugged my mouse back in and I unplugged something else. Just had a bit of an issue fit. Yeah, this is the new version of Cyberpunk 2077's well, version by Miracle Sound. Right, we should now be able to test this. So I am actually controlling this with this mouse. I'm just a bit dubious about doing so. Let's bring back up the email. Right, let's put that there. Right, with the main components partially assembled, we can test the button's response using force values on the OLED. So the OLED mode into... Okay. Right. Is it going to work if we do that? Right, we might actually need to stick this one in first so that we can get... There we go. So that should, in theory... Well, nobody would know any different, would they? There it is. So that's working. But whether I've got the middle mouse is the different thing. Right, I just need to bring up my Swiftpoint software. Now this is the test. If this doesn't work, we are scuppered. Right. just realised how much I actually picked the mouse up. Have a do, don't pick it up. The OLED one is problematic to say the least. Right, okay. Change that to keep the forces save. Oh, 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 oh. Now I can't show you this without it all falling apart, I don't think. However, sorry, that's really difficult to see, but on here we have an LED display. Yep. Now currently it's saying force. So the buttons, the left and right and the middle mouse button of bring up that bloody sound a second. Of the Z mouse is able to basically check whether you are using force, you know, so the harder you press it'll register. So if I'm just hoping you guys can actually see this because it's quite a cool little thing, but it's not showing very well. Oh, there we go. But if I press that, you can see how the number increases. Force, yeah, as I push harder. Now, you got to think that, you know, I'm not pushing on a... Yeah. Because I'm not actually pushing on a flat surface. I'm doing it horizontal, hence why the number isn't going. Now, the right mouse button, yeah, you can see it's doing the same thing. Now, the one I was bothered about is the middle, which I'm pressing now. And that wasn't working yesterday at all. But you can see it is exerting some force. So it is getting a contact, which is good, which is what we want. But, yeah. Yeah. There's some flex, obviously, because of everything not being screwed down. I think that's what's causing it. Blinding me and I'm probably blinding you. So that is actually working. Oh, okay, no, do you know what? I'm not impressed. I'm gonna give myself a round of applause. I actually didn't think this would work, to be fair. Right, so that's that. Get rid of that out of there. Right. So seemingly we may have a working mouse. Zoom. Oh, that's zoom, you fool. Meow. There we go. So we seemingly have a working mouse. Yeah, excuse my very bent fingers, by the way. I do actually have very bent fingers. These two especially. That one, as you can see, is nowhere near straight. You can see on the knuckles sports injuries. One playing rugby, and that one playing basketball. Basically, I've snapped the tendon down the back of the thing. Basically, on a normal straight finger, you know, you kind of have tendons and stuff that keep your fingers relatively straight. I'm none of these double jointed like where you can, you know, curl your fingers. My finger is permanently like that because there's nothing stopping or keeping that joint straight. It basically just goes like, I can still use it, but, you know, I do get pain in those fingers when it's cold and I'm outside. Like that one, that's probably worse because of the angle that it goes up. But I don't have very straight fingers anyway. None of my fingers are straight. But they are probably a lot worse. But, right, so we need... just basically put everything back together. So as we go reassembly... Yeah, I mean, the double jointedness is the ability to basically go and bend that finger there on the tip. I can't do that. Mine just looks like I can, but it's permanently hooked. You know, hey, has its uses. So right, we need to now do everything in reverse order. So what we need to do is take this lid off again without breaking everything. Like so. Now, this PCB just does not want to stay put. I'd actually be tempted to not hot glue it in because that would be wrong. But what I want to do is I do want to remove this ribbon. Because as I said at the start, this is the main ganky bit. I don't know if you guys can actually see it, but you can see I've worn away where my fingers rest. Now, you can also see that there's these others here. Yep. The Z mouse has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 switches on it. Finger cam pog. How you doing, Raz? These ones here can slide and click down or pull back, so they work both ways. These here can be adjusted depending upon which one and how your fingers sit. So you can, you know, you can click at the back, at the front, but these are quite handy. These, especially on the side, good for setting things such as say for in Lotro, I use one of those as an auto run button, you know, so I click up and I click down, and that's actually controlled by this PCB here, which the one that keeps fucking falling out. That one there. So that works off that PCB there. So it is all very quite technical inside the old mouse. I mean, it did cost me some ridiculous amount, like 200 and something quid when it came out in 2017, but it's been a worthwhile investment. Now, the reason I want this apart still before I put it back together is I don't know if you guys can actually see into there. There's not enough light, unfortunately. Just see if I can bring that around. You can see there's a bit of gunking crap in there. Now, that's basically the worst entry point. At the side of the scroll wheel, all the crap gets down there. I did clean the actual scroll wheel itself because that was covered in shit as well, so that wasn't making a great contact. So whilst it is a bit grim, we do need to clean it out a little bit. But what I'm just going to check is on the inside of here. The underside isn't too bad, it's the top side into here. Now, normally you can't get in here because every time you do something like this, you're basically getting, you know, crap into the mouse. So, but I'm just double checking, and I haven't used the natural sunlight actually because I can't see a fucking thing. And these caps do come off if I remember rightly, and I can't remember how because I don't want to yank them off. The actress to the bishop. So I'm just gonna give it a clean while I can. If you've never taken your keycaps off your oops, you know, so I didn't know how they came off. Yeah, that one's just come off. They're basically, they're just like a, you get several different types. That one obviously you can see is that shape. This one here, the left hand side one, if I pull that out, dandiest bloody thing. And you see the slight difference. Oh, you probably can't actually from there. So let's bring that back to there. Get the thingy thing out of the way. But yeah, that is a slightly different. One's slightly padded in a different place, but it doesn't make it easier that they can come off because it means you can clean into all the gunk. You see the back of that one there? How fucking filthy is that? And that's just not wax, but grease and shit off your fingers. iFixIt kit. Great bit of kit. Great bit of kit. So like I say, we're just going to try and get in here. Just clean some of the crap off if we can. Because it just, as I was saying, if you've never ever taken your keyboard apart, if you've got removable keycaps, you'll be actually very surprised how much disgusting shit is in the back of there, in your keyboard. And it is quite grim. It really is quite grim. You would actually be very surprised and quite horrified, I think, as well. So these are the same things. You can change the profile of these as well. When we bought the original, we got different settings. We got different weights for underneath and stuff. I'm just going to clean under there. Gives us a bit better access. I'm not saying it'll feel like a new mouse, but it'll certainly be less grim. And like I say, that's the slot, obviously, where all the stuff and the shit and everything gets in to affect the scroll wheel, which I've just had the issue with, which means I've had to take it apart, clean it, put it back together, which is a bit of a nightmare. So the only thing I've had a problem with is these pads come off over time. I've lost this one on this side, you can see. Yeah, there's no pad on this one. But there you go. But they said you can stick it back on with glue or whatever. I think I just lobbed it. But I'm not going to really bother with it, to be fair. But yeah, you'll realise how much of a mucky creature us humans are when you've cleaned keyboards and mice out for any length of time. And you'd be like, wow. Prime example, look at all that. That's just come from that little groovy area there. Just run that around that corner as much as I can. Just to clean out all my joints. I know this isn't our usual stream. We definitely don't normally do these kind of things. I'd love to do more stuff like this. I really would. I think it's quite enjoyable. But I mean, I'm no technical wizard or anything like that. I'm just very good at following instructions. If somebody's worked it out, I can follow things quite easily. Like putting flat pack furniture together. Somebody tells you how to do it, just follow what it says, and you should generally, you know, find that it works. There's a crevice there I cannot get underneath, which is where the mouse button is. So what I'm going to just quickly do. I know this is for Nettle Brew, by the way. Look what I've got. Exactly, yeah. And in the same drawer, something that, you know, you're probably thinking, what the fuck? Hang on, let me just get that in the right place. Got a Nuba guitar wax and polish. Now this is another good thing as well. It is a screen cleaner, muck off stuff. However, I do use it on the screens, but I also use it on stuff like this because it's plastics. So it's very good at cleaning grime. So I'll just give it a little squirt at the access to the bishop, and that will give us a little kind of workout. Like I say, it's just handy because you're not using it, so you're not clicking the crap out of anything. So it is an opportunity to give your equipment a bit of a clean. I want to give that a little squirt on that side. And like I say, just give it as good a clean as you can. Because us humans are scuzzy pieces of shit. We're vermin at the end of the day. We're cockroaches and we're unclean. But that's how we survive, by being generally unclean. Because our bodies give us antibodies. Infections. So that's not looking too shabby now. Like I say, it'll look manky within about 5 minutes of using it again. But hey, it's like polishing your car after you've washed it. Not much point to it, but you just feel better for it. Oh yeah, rubbing alcohol's good, yeah. So, right. So we'll get this out of the way. We'll just plunk that down. Whatever you do, if you get one of these kits, there's a little tab here. Some people don't know about it. It slides up, yeah, and then you just twist it. That means you cannot pull the trigger. Because I've seen and read what people do is they leave that down, yeah, which allows it obviously to move. I'm not going to do it because it's going to squirt everywhere. And then what they do is they put it in a drawer and then they push something against it, squirt, and then they just get a soggy drawer. So there you go. Good stuff. Couldn't even tell you where I got it from, but it lasts a while, so you don't need much of it. Right, just while I'm here, I'll give these a quick wipe over as well. But yeah, periodically, you can't actually see it, but it's just here. You can see already, this, I cleaned this about maybe a month or so ago. It's dusty as crap already. That's my keyboard, my Corsair K95. But thank you very much for joining me anyway. I know it is a little bit diverse, I know. I just thought, do you know what? Fuck it, I'll try it. I've got my normal camera. Yeah, the mountain bike, that's what they're generally known for, is muck off. But I've got some for my motorbike as well, just for cleaning. Yeah, I'll give these a clean because these do get ganky as well because your hands are resting on them all the time. So hopefully that has permacured that problem. So we'll just keep those out of the way temporarily. We shouldn't need, well actually we will need the iFixIt kit. Right, so just going to plonk that back up there and hopefully it'll stay put. There we go. Better. Right. Move that. Right, so we need the screws. Now, this is where the point of reference is. I'm fairly certain they were the silver screws. I'm just going to look at my picture first. If in doubt, always look at your pictures. Yeah, silver screws hold down the PCB. So, yeah. Always use them as a point of reference. Right. So we'll put that one back into the iFixIt. You've never seen Jay-Z 2 cents. He's a bit shit at DIY. He knows his stuff about computers. And he's a bit, well, he's an American, so they're always a little bit OTT, but he is good to watch and listen regarding tech. And if anybody's not seen, actually, it's a very good thing that's been going off of late, is the whole hardware unboxing issue. Now, you might be thinking, who the hell's hardware unboxing? Or hardware unboxed? He's an Australian guy who basically, because he doesn't toe the party line when it comes to reviews, Nvidia sent him a very nasty email. Right, that... one thing we need to remember is not to put these in tight. You can't put them in tight because they are supposed to allow the whole thing to flex. But to go back to the hardware unboxing thing, he's got an opinion. Not everybody agrees with it. But Nvidia's basically sent him an email, and this came from Brian Del Rizzo, who's one of the top guys. I think he's global marketing, actually, head of global marketing at Nvidia. And he sent him an email and said, basically it was a threat. It was a very veiled threat. But they came out with it and said, hey, if you don't kind of, fall in line, you're not going to get anything from us. And it was quite a nasty email, actually, to be fair. But the general consensus is that they don't actually think that this Brian Del Rizzo actually wrote it. They think somebody else wrote it, and then he just kind of, because he's so busy, kind of sent it and didn't really read it. And the fallout was that Jay-Z, 2 Cents, and Linus, especially Linus Tech Tips, they got given this email from Steve. He's called Steve, not Gamers Nexus Steve. He's called Steve at Hardware Unboxed. And he sent them it and just said, look, this is the kind of shit that's going on. Well, Linus definitely went full bore. Hey, you're a fucking bunch of arseholes. He did. He really did. He says, fuck you. He says, I don't care. He says, I don't need you. And he flexed a little bit in his comments. You know, I've got enough money to do this. I don't need you to do this. If you're going to be arseholes and treat people like the mafia, then go fuck yourselves. It is a very good rant, and I think he hit the nail on the head, really on the head. So you can see that's still flexing, which is good because it does allow things to move. Yay. So yeah, check it out on Linus Tech Tips. It was part of the WAN show, which is what he does for once a week, where it's a live stream that they do. But I think it's about 20 minutes in to the actual stream. I watched it yesterday as well. And he goes full on for Brian Del Rizzo. Now, I actually watched the follow-up video of the Hardware Unboxed yesterday as well, last night. And he went through it all and said, look, this is the email I got. Yeah, Linus has been on board. Thank you very much. Great. So has Jay-Z, 2 Cents, etc. I couldn't thank them enough for the work that they've done and helped me and this, that, and the other and brought this to light. He says, I'm of the same opinion. He says, I don't think this was Brian Del Rizzo's doing. And he said he knows somebody at... Oh, shit, I mean to put that back in. At NVIDIA Marketing that doesn't like him. And he was quite adamant. He says, for whatever reason, this person does not like me. He says, and with knowing that... and the fact that somebody doesn't like you, he says, I think it's just been sent to him. He's written it, or whoever this person is, maybe have written it and then sent it up the chain. And Brian Del Rizzo, like I said, didn't read it, just sent it. Basically said in the email, right, you're not getting any partner boards from, you're not getting any founders boards from us until your editorial style changes. Pretty much just saying you write nice things or you're not getting anything, which when you start doing shit like that, you are going to feel the wrath. And he did. Subsequently, they went through the email again in this video from Steve at Hardware Unboxed. And yeah, yeah, that was a funny bit. Well done for reminding me. They said that basically you do not, you're always focusing on rasterization. Now, rasterization is how 99% of games run. They don't use DLSS, they don't use RTX or anything. So 99% games. This is, I follow what the audience does. 99% of people just are bothered about the rasterization. Nothing else. RTX they're not bothered about. But he did actually say... one of the comments he actually put from when it first came out that the technology was amazing or brilliant or something. NVIDIA up to press, and they still do. They still have that quote as the first quote on their DLSS page from Hardware Unboxed. Amazing, amazing technology or whatever it was. And people are like, hang on, you're saying he doesn't promote your stuff. He actually said, and you still use it as a promo thing. Amazing technology, great bit, and people are like, what? So anyway, this Brian Del Rizzo, the head of this global market, actually got back to Steve at Hardware Unboxing and said, look, I don't know what it was, maybe it's this whole Corona thing. It kind of backtracked. What they basically did is they said, look, you're still included in the partner stuff, you're still going to get cards, but we're happy to work with you, blah, blah, blah. And basically, they've just turned tail. They really have, because they knew it got blown up. They knew that obviously once Linus got hold of it, and Linus He's probably one of the biggest YouTubers when it comes to technology and the reach he has. Now, if he calls you out and tells you to go fuck yourself, hang on. He did actually. He kept whenever he said the F word, he went. I don't, but he did. Total damage limitation, but like I say, after being called out by Linus and Steve at Gamers Nexus, I believe, is due to do an actual rant about it. And then Jay-Z, they had to backtrack, but it was damage limitation. But I mean, don't get me wrong, and everybody said, look, NVIDIA, you make a fantastic product. We have no problem with that. You make a great product. However, stop being like the mafia. Stop expecting everybody to say that your product is wonderful. If we think it's shit, we're going to call it shit. If somebody doesn't, somebody might say it's brilliant. It might come across like a shill. That doesn't mean that they should then go after them and say, you're an ass. We're not going to give you any stuff now. And that's what it was. That's what they basically tried to do. They tried to flex their muscles and go, we're not going to give you anything now because you don't toe the party line. Well, exactly, that's it. And this is funny you mentioned that, WKD. Go into, in I think it's about a few weeks' time. Is it a few weeks' time? I can't remember. I did tweet it yesterday. Let me just bring up Twitter. I did retweet it. It's still got so much on my desktop at the moment. I can't actually see what I did. There we go. Right, let's just see what I wind up on there. Yeah. Yesterday, tweeting replies. Yeah. 12th of January, sorry, it is next month. 12th of January at 9 a.m. PST. GeForce RTX Game On, a special broadcast event. I'm telling you now that they are going to be TI cards. Exactly. He was very balanced in what he said. He said, that it's not the best launch, etc. But I reckon there's going to be 3070 Ti's and 3080 Ti's coming out in February. Not that you're going to be able to fucking buy one, but hey, they're going to be definitely there. Oh, by the way, if everybody's never seen, that's what this is the back of the room. You don't normally see this behind me. This is why I've got the green cover on my green screen on my chair. And then I actually have a green screen on the floor, but you don't normally see it's a triptych. Well, they call it triptych. This is a 4-way triptych, which is basically a picture of a stormtrooper. I do actually have, and you can't just see it. You can just see it. Look there's one of my other little Christmas trees. I do have a little Christmas tree in here, and then I've got some pop vinyls. That mask there is for Borderlands 3, which I got from the gaming event last year in London. And then we've got some pop vinyls up there. Some are mine and some are Magic's as well. So. But yeah, basically, like I said, the upshot was they just completely and utterly backtracked on everything they'd done, said, oh shit, I've just lifted that again. I didn't put it back together. Right. Flippity doody. We need to screw some more screws back in. So let's just plunk that. The mouse is having a bit of a spaz attack at the moment because every time you turn it upside down, it's like, what are you doing to me? What are you doing to me? Right. These I can tighten down, and I will. You might not hear it, but it's going, because it drops into config. Oh, that screws in upside down. It's like a turtle on its back. Like, turn me over, you bastards. Still picking up shit. Right. That one into there. Right. This one into this corner. Now, I'm not affiliated with iFixIt at all. I'm not like Jay-Z. I don't make any money, but they are quite a cool little thing. Quite an impressive deal. So actually screw in that one. Did I put a screw in that one? Where's this one here? I was like, where's the other screw hole? Because I know I've got two left. I was like, I can't find the other screw hole. Duh. Right, the other two are underneath these. So I just had to peel that back just to get it to work. Do 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 do. Step your head on the back of hell. It's looking probably like the date for the Twitch Sings charity thing, which we have to do before the end of the year because Twitch Sings actually ends on the 1st of January. It's going to be on the 30th of December. So there we go. Right, let's just plunk that back down onto the desk like so. So we're still in config mode when we get that right. Force mode. Down to 100. 100. Now you really have to put some force on that middle one to do it. I'm just checking it because I'm just reading the config on when it goes to config mode on the side. Like I say, it's still working in that sense. So yeah, left mouse, you can see it's only going to 30%. It's because it hasn't got any resistance. But if I put force at the back of it as well, it does the same thing. Yeah. But then the middle one, you can see I have to really put a shit ton of force on that one. But I'm just glad it clicked, you see. It is actually recognising the pushes, which it wasn't doing before. Right, actually, there's one thing missing, which I've just realised. On the bottom of these, you have these little things, kind of like glides. I do need to clean these as well. These things, if I zoom me out again. Small scroll going on my Twitter. It's because of my mouse. Ah, yeah. Yeah, so these kind of things, one sits that side and one sits the other side, but these do need periodically cleaning as well. They collect a load of shit, just like the other stuff. I'll clean both sides. These are just like magnetic that clip in. These bits here, so gunky. Because they're the nearest bit to the surface of the desk. Lint-free cloth is not very lint-free, unfortunately. I just realised that green is showing up like a green screen. How rude. Let's see if that actually disappears. It's trying to. As the green screen tech. There. Gunk down the side. But yeah, what you can do is you can alter where these sit. So if you want to, you can see these notches at the top. You can just about see the notches at the top. But you get a slight pivot. If you want them on the outside, it's how much it allows it to rock from side to side. What you can do with this mouse is, because it's got a gyroscope in it as well, if you're playing something like Battlefield, for example, and you all of a sudden getting in a helicopter, you can actually lift the mouse up and then fly it like this. You can use it for flight sims as well if you want, very dubiously done, but it kind of, not like an altimeter, but an altimeter or anything like that, but as you go up and down, you can actually, you can fly a plane. And because it tilts as well, these allow it to rock, depending upon where you put it. So you can't really see it, but you can see how it's doing that. You might think, it's just because it's on an uneven surface. But when I put the other one back in, it's because these pads allow it to rock. The middle ones are higher than the outer ones, so it does allow it to rock a little bit. All very cool tech. Pretty expensive at the time. You can still get them, and they brought out a slightly more gamer focused one now. Oh yeah, that's just for the thing. They can go on last. It doesn't matter about them switches. They're just rubber pads. So I can put them on. Let's clean these off. Do it a little bit. To a degree, Timaeus, yeah, there's certain similarities there. Is like obviously it senses, you know, whether it's been lifted higher, lower, or anything like that. You just need to calibrate it once in a while for your desktop, you know, so that it knows. But yeah, these things do get gunk in them. Is annoying. And over time, this scratch around on your desk and they pick up every little bit of crap on your desk as well. Lint free. I'm more covered in more lint than fucking chocolate. Don't know if anyway. my dad's old Delmos used to as well. Yeah, this is 2017 technology. This is when the Kickstarter happened. So yeah, now you say you've got the little round knobbly bit here, so you just put it into the slot. Oops, I did just to the bishop, and then it sits on the outside. But you can see there, this one sits further over, but it just allows it to pivot a little bit. So if you want to use it as a racing game, you can do. So you can like steer left, steer right, etc. And then you adjust it by bringing them closer to the middle or pushing them further out, whichever way you want. As long as that sits at the back in the right slot, you can see that that moves away from this, creates a little gap. But you can see already, just picks up crap underneath there. So if we move them both to the middle, they're just magnetic. He says, easy said than done. Come on, you fucking thing. There we go. That kind of allows even more pivot. I'm just turning it over the wrong way. There we go. So it does allow more. So the further you put them out, imagine like you put your hands out for more stability. Yeah, this is what this does. The closer they are, you've got less stability. Right. I'm fighting with two mice here. Every time I move something, it's clicking on my screen. So let's just plunk that out to the outside there. There we go. There we go. So that doesn't rock as much. Now I have it normally on that setting, so it doesn't actually rock too much. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put these back on, as long as I get them in the right way. Oh, that's that one. That's the left one. That's the right one, I think. I just need to check which ones I had actually in these deep clicky ones. So that, yeah, they just push in, which is quite handy. But yeah, different ones are different things. Yeah, different positions. So you just make sure they're in the right place. And you can make them bigger. You get ones with a larger lump. From the actress to the bishop. But all that does is that just allows you to hit the button. Sometimes it gets in the way. Same with these at the back, which are these. You can actually have these different ways round. So sometimes if you want them, I'll put them this way in, shall we, for example, you'll feel that, or you'll notice the, hang on, where is it? There, where my finger is. You'll notice that it's slightly proud, so that it'll hit the underside of your finger. Yeah. Yeah, so it's easier to catch. But like I say, these can be lifted up, yeah, backwards, or you can push it down like a standard mouse. So that's an extra button on there. Now, if you want to change it around, you can. Just for comfort or gameplay or whatever, you can actually switch these the other way around. Yeah, so now if we look at the profile, it follows the profile of the mouse more, so it doesn't interfere. When I put my finger there, it doesn't really hit it. But when you actually want to click it, sometimes you feel like you're not clicking it. But I have it that way so that it's a bit smoother, because I don't tend to use these buttons at the back. That's not to say you shouldn't, but I just don't tend to. So we have the mouse back. How cool is that? We seem to have a middle click. Now I'm going to go to a website that I used yesterday. See if I can find Moose Click. Apparently a moose has got many using it. that isn't the one I actually did. I actually used yesterday. Just gonna add. Okay. Right. There we go. This is a cool little web page that I found yesterday. I'd not actually seen it before, but literally, when you're on here, yeah, you can see my mouse moving around. You can test all your mouse button to a degree. Now, obviously, it'll test side buttons. It'll test left and right. It'll test your scroll as well. So you just hover over this page, and this is what when I came to, I thought the middle mouse is not clicking at all. So I'm going to left click. Yeah, that activated. I'm going to right click. That activated. I'm going to scroll the wheel. Obviously, it scrolls the page and scroll forward. Also, the side buttons work. Yeah, there. So that one. I mean, obviously, I've got a few more buttons because there is actually 2 there as well. Yeah, you guys can't see it. I'll show you in a minute. Now, the important one is clickety click. There we go, because that wasn't working yesterday. That's the middle click. So now, in Cyberpunk 2077, I can actually fucking throw a grenade. Yay! There we go. But yeah, I didn't show you, but there's actually 2 buttons there as well, which can be clicked and configured just on the side of that. And again, I don't generally use them, even though they're in easy reach even. And then we do obviously the side buttons for various stuff. So there we have it. We actually achieved what I didn't think we were going to achieve, if I'm honest. I actually thought we were going to fail miserably on that one. Honestly did. While I'm here, clean your phone screen. Clean your phone screen. Fucking filthy. While you've got the cloth out, you might as well clean it. Cleaning cloth. Cleaning cloth. It's because it's got some of that muck off stuff on it. It cleans it nicely. Yeah. Yeah. Think we're good with that? There we go. Nice clean phone. Boom. That's an iPhone 6s Plus. Quite outdated, but still does what I need it to do. If I can web browse and do all sorts of shit on it, I'm fine with that. There we go. Whew. So there we have it. We actually have just done a 2.5-hour stream with all you wonderful people on how to fix a mouse. According to Swiftpoint. So I actually didn't think we'd, like I said, I didn't think we'd achieve what was actually fixing it, but it has worked. It seemingly is back to working order. Fingers crossed it stays there. Fingers crossed anyway. So I'm going to go do some stuff now because I need to have some dinner actually because I've not eaten anything yet. Ooh, feeling a bit food. Just to remind you, at 7 p.m. tonight, we are going to be diving in to some more Dungeons and Dragons. Yep. So there's going to be me, Balf, Baz, Lewis, PP, everybody else that's going to be there. So 7 p.m. back on this channel for Dungeons and Dragons, where I play Norbert. He's a bit of a contemptuous little wizard who wants other people to do stuff for him, and he generally does get them to do it for him. Although, you know, it does prove problematic. We've got a Dragonborn who likes to drink and fart and shit all the time. And also, we've got a little gnome. Bazzy's got a great voice for that, great voice. And then Keepy, he's a paladin. He looks after me, does Keepy. So, yeah, join us for that later on this evening. It'll be 7 o'clock start, so I might get back on again before then, but who knows. But I've got some stuff I need to do, especially go eat. I'm falling through my arse here, so thank you very much for joining me. It's been a pleasure actually doing this. If you'd like to see more fixing stuff, seeing stuff in this kind of environment, then let me know. I wonder if there's any delay. Can't see that thing evil. Can't actually see it. Hang on. See it? They're in time. The cameras are in time. Yeah, they're in time. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. I will see you in the next one. Hopefully we will be tonight. So take care, peeps. Be good. and I'll see you again soon. TTFN for now.